Hey, everybody. It's Jimmie Bratcher, and I'm all frozen up. I'm freezing, having a little technical difficulties. That's why we're just a minute or so late. I have with me tonight my friends Isaac Alonji. I always have to make sure I don't say Isaac and Sandra Alonji. I want to be politically correct. So I have Isaac Alonji and Sandra Martin with me, and we'll give everybody a little bit of time to kind of get on and see if this is going to actually work or if I'm going to be frozen in space.
About being frozen?
What?
Man, it's too bad there's not like any songs about being frozen.
Well, I don't know any, so I've managed to avoid all that
We
stuff.
should do a movie called Frozen. It would be huge.
It would be big time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some things set up here so that I'll be ready to go. So that when we want to share these things, we can.
I say once there's more than 3 people on, we just hit the ground running.
Well, let me see who's on. I can check that, see if there's anybody actually out there. Hey, man, there's like 10 people on Facebook.
It's blowing up.
There's 15, so we're like rolling now.
Did we go viral?
We did. I mean, we are like completely viral. So
All right.
Sorry about my screen freezing up. Is the audio still going when it's frozen?
Yeah, it sounds great on my end.
All right. So I asked Isaac and Sandra to be here because tomorrow they've been friends of ours for a long time, and they've always been a huge blessing to us. And Isaac, Isaac's work from, let's see, you guys both did my Christmas DVD. You did the cover art on Exchange, Secretly Famous, and This Is Blues Country.
Oh my goodness.
Shot the music video for Jupiter and Mars and the Man It's Christmas music video.
Oh my goodness. That's right.
And you're not going to believe this. I just discovered the footage from 2007 when we shot that thing at Knuckleheads.
Amazing. How'd it look?
I'll send you a link.
You'd be amazed at how many people have sent me links to like really old stuff. People must be pretty bored because they're digging up like stuff from a decade ago. It's great.
Well, I don't know about all that, but it was good, man. I mean, I'll send it to you. If you remember right, we were crowded into a little bitty room, and we had that jib in there, and
that's right,
all that stuff going on, and Sandra was running around with a handheld camera.
Oh my gosh!
So you guys you live here in the Kansas City area?
Yeah, we live.
So give us a little bit of your background, whoever wants to dive in there. So
yeah, go ahead.
Well, we're both from Kansas City. Isaac's from the Kansas side and I'm from the Missouri side.
Yeah.
And we met, I guess kind of through work. He had a photography studio and I owned a bridal shop. So it was kind of a natural match up there. And we started working together and the rest became history.
And
we've been married for like around 100 years or so. And
how long have you been married?
Yeah, like projects together. What, 17 years?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
17 years?
Yeah, we started working on projects.
But we started working together
before that, even
before we got married.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been fun.
Yeah. So how do you? So this is kind of off the subject that we're going to talk about, but so how do you handle professional, personal relationship as husband and wife? Because Sherry and I mean, we've worked together since 1994, but. Wow. But, how do you have any secrets you want to share with how you do that?
I think you just have to be nice to everybody.
Yeah. We're fortunate. I think we share a lot of the same vision. So it's not like we're trying to go opposite directions.
Right.
There's not a lot of creative differences you hear about all the time. But for some reason, it's worked out pretty good.
There's a few moments like on set and stuff, but I think that would be with anyone.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would be.
Saturday,
Sorry, I'm trying to set up this
May
this
16th.
trailer that we're going to play, and it's giving me fits. So I'm trying. So if you hear something playing in the background, that sounds like your trailer to your movie.
It sounds that way.
Yeah. So, but you guys, so Isaac, you were a photographer, Sandra had a bridal shop, and then all of a sudden you decided to go and start making movies. So when did that happen?
Yeah, in 2014, we did our first movie, Trust Fund. We spent quite a bit of time trying to learn how to make movies and read lots of books and do lots of things.
That was our first feature all on our own. So we've been doing things with other people for quite some time.
Yeah.
So you'd been technically like supporting other people.
Exactly. And we just decided we wanted to do our own thing.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun to work on your own project that you feel emotional or passionate or whatever about.
Choose the subject matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And so you've done Trust Fund, and what other movies have you done of your own?
We did a movie called Fixer Upper.
Right. And that's on Amazon Prime, is that right?
Right. We did a movie called, we did one called Love Finds You in Mountain View. We did it together.
Okay.
We did one
argument on here.
From the Heart. And then this one, which is How to Train Your Husband, Puppy Husband. It's kind of hard to say it.
Puppy slash husband.
Yeah.
Puppy, cross that out, husband. Yes. It's a really
all right. I got some kind of pollen in my throat or something.
You want to roll that trailer while you clear your throat? It's like a commercial break.
My mic would be live, and I'd be back here hacking and coughing all the way through it.
Yes.
So the big deal is that tomorrow night at 8:00 Central, your movie How to Train Your Puppy Husband is on the Hallmark Channel.
It is confusing when people say it, isn't it? Yeah, we're super excited. This is our first movie that's gotten a television broadcast deal. So it's kind of a big deal for us.
Yeah, for us, it just means that a lot more people will see it.
Yeah, Hallmark has a huge audience. So we're pretty excited about that. And it's a really fun movie. It's about a marriage therapist, and she goes about trying to fix her husband and figures out that maybe he's not the problem.
And I think that this is maybe a timely message right now after everyone's been in quarantine together.
You think everybody's trying to fix each other?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day when you figure out you can only fix yourself. You can't fix your spouse,
Yeah.
So that makes a big difference. Well, we got some some behind the scene things here that we could show.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can
see those when they go up.
What's that?
Are we going to see those when they go up?
I think so. I'll try this. I've never done this before, so we'll see how this works. Can you see those?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So we got this first picture. It's a kitchen scene. I knew that Isaac would have a bunch of tech pictures up here.
Well, I hide my face behind the camera for all of them.
I like the lighting guy, the lighting stand you got back there in the background. You got just some guy hanging onto a light.
Yeah, that's a little bit run and gun there.
High tech.
I think we were shooting around customers when we were in that location. They were open for business, and so we just grabbed shots real quick when there weren't any customers. It was a really cute little bakery in Boston.
It's actually a pretty well-known coffee shop.
Okay.
The bakery's next door so we shot at both places.
Yeah.
And so you shot this in Boston.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole movie we did in Boston.
And there's Sandra. And Sandra, what was your role? Did you write this and direct it?
Yeah, wrote and directed.
She was the boss of the applesauce.
She's the what? The boss of the applesauce?
Do you notice the guy? Do you recognize the guy back there?
Yeah.
And that's Amanda too. Yep.
It is. It's Brian and Amanda. How about that?
So it's always a good day when you can work with your family.
Oh, no kidding.
So they were shooting at one of the big parks in the middle of downtown Boston. It was
Okay.
amazing to get permission to film there. I don't know if I put any wide shots in, but
Yeah, there's one coming up.
it added a lot of production value
Right.
to have locations like that.
That's a very serious, it looks almost staged, like you were serious.
He sees a camera and he
I think,
poses.
I think I may have posed with my cheesy, serious face.
He's acting like he's doing something real important.
Yeah, yeah.
And so there's a wide shot.
Oh yeah, that was another day in the park.
Yeah.
In the park next door to the park.
Yeah.
Boston's amazing. They have so many acres and acres and acres of green space just right in downtown there.
Yeah, I've never been to, I've been just only flown through Boston. I've never actually spent any time there.
It's really a fun place to visit.
Yeah.
Because there's
Very
some
cool.
history there.
So we have this trailer. Let me see if I can get this trailer running, and then we can try that out, see how that works. Here it comes.
Saturday, May 16th.
Where's your suit?
I'm happy to see you too.
Discover a new way
What happened to the guy I married?
to navigate the rough times.
I was looking for a book on training a puppy.
Julie Gonzalo and Jonathan Chase.
Similarities between training your husband and your puppy? We've been trained.
How to Train Your Husband. Premieres Saturday, May 16th at 9. Only on Hallmark Channel.
Super cool, man.
That's so funny. Henry is so cute. Poor little Henry. That little puppy, man. He had all of us.
I really don't understand why
hang
everybody
on.
isn't following the same rules right
My,
now. They're very
We've been
clear.
hijacked by
Uh-oh.
another video. I was. All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Thought you had somebody in the room there.
No, that was Charity Vaughn. She was getting ready to sing a song, which would have been, that'd have been fine. You know, we could have just let her sing, but
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so we got to work with Henry, that adorable little puppy, and we still keep track of him on Facebook. Every now and again, he's just as cute.
does he have like his own page or something?
No, but I keep in touch with his trainer.
Okay. So what was it like? I mean, I recognize some of the people in there from some of the actors from other things, but but one of my questions was, what was it like working with animals?
It's fun. Yeah, they say not to work with animals or children, but I would definitely work with dogs again because it just made everything more fun every day. Like it took the stress level down. I
Right.
guess, you just have to hold a puppy and everything's like, okay.
So were there any, I'm sure there were some funny instances while you were filming with the animals.
I will say the first day filming with the dog was pretty interesting. We didn't fully understand what goes into filming with pets.
Right.
And I think
Well-
we had a couple hours scheduled for a scene, and many hours later we were still
It was not only that it was a dog, but it was that it was a puppy. And they did not train him in things on purpose ahead of time because they wanted him to go through that level of not, just like fighting the leash and everything.
Right.
So we basically were like in real time.
training him in real time. But it made some really cute shots of him pulling on the leash and lots of things like that. Peeing on the floor.
Oh yeah, there's a shot in there where he pees on the bathroom floor, and that wasn't scripted, but I saw him do it, and I'm like, oh, Isaac, get it.
Get it. So we found a place to put it.
Everybody loves a good pee shot.
Oh, that's great. So are you getting some local press from the release or? Try.
Mostly just doing social media. Hallmark has so many incredible, so many followers on everything.
Well,
Huge audience.
They're really on it on social media and everything. So they're doing a great job. If you go to their website, they have broken out all of our little stuff that we gave them. And they're doing like how to train, tip 1, tip 2, so
Okay.
it's done a really great job.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with that. It's pretty
So
fun.
do you think that it played into your favor that they're a Kansas City company?
No,
Not at all. The film,
I wish.
all the film and channel division of all of that is in Burbank, California.
Okay.
On media. And it's a completely different company that does.
We tried to play that card
Yeah.
early on.
We knew some people. It didn't help.
Well, I didn't know if that was, you could like weasel your way in there. So
Tried.
you tried.
We're bad weasels.
So the movie airs tomorrow at 8 Central, at 9 Eastern. So, because there's people all over the country that tune into these little things, and
Yeah,
we have people in Russia that are watching. They watch the replay of it, but it's like 2 a.m. or something. People in UK, all of those things. But so tell me about your faith and how that plays into making movies.
Well, all of the films that we've made haven't just been about entertaining or making a movie. We got into filmmaking because we wanted to be storytellers to our generation and do movies that had meaning and taught lessons. So Trust Fund that we talked about earlier was kind of a covert telling of the prodigal son story. We just changed all the details, but kept that heart.
I always describe it as the prodigal daughter.
Yes. Same difference, right?
Right.
So this movie, How to Train, I love the idea of using comedy to deal with something that's, a real problem. And it's so universal, the things that we all face in relationships. And I don't think it's just a marriage relationship. It can be a relationship with children, with sisters, with, whoever. But I took the marriage therapist where she could actually give some truth, give some advice, but it's not done in like a preachy way. It's
Sure.
done like how a marriage therapist would do it. And of course, she doesn't take her own advice like most of us.
That's into trouble.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead, Sandra.
Well, I was just gonna say, all of my movies are always gonna have happy endings. So
I'm a happy ending guy. It's like if I go to a movie and it has a bad ending, I go, I want my money back.
ever since I was little, when I would see a movie and if it didn't have the ending that I wanted, I would rewrite it because I just couldn't let it go. So now, everybody knows that if I write a movie, it's going to have a happy ending.
I'm paying money for it. That's for sure. Yeah, I've learned, and even with my writing and music and books and different things, that and really looking at Jesus's example, he didn't, modern Christianity, they don't feel that we are presenting Christianity unless we quote scripture. And we have, and Jesus, he wasn't walking around with a scroll. He wasn't saying, okay, let's turn to Mark, because Mark was sitting there, he was he taught by concept and by principles and stories and all of those things. And somehow we've gotten away from that. And it's great to hear that you all are coming to that place where you're telling the story, but you're telling it with concepts that are biblically based. And that's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah. Biblical truth through storytelling.
Yeah.
Cool.
It is. So you all, when did you come to faith, both of you?
I was 9 years old.
9 years old?
Oh, I won. I was 5.
You were 5?
Yeah. So we both grew up in church, and we've never really gone the rebellious route or any of that. We don't have any of our good own stories of the olden days, but I think that's okay.
That's wonderful. Yeah, it's really
Probably
cool.
missed out on a lot of pain that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can tell you all those stories. I got enough for everybody.
Yeah, we'll just share. We're even.
Yeah, I guess I'm locked up again. So.
Yeah, you're kind of frozen, or you've had your arms crossed for a long
But
time.
at least I'm smiling. It's not like I'm making some kind of goofy face or something. It's like now I can, do whatever I want. So. But you guys can see me, right? Oh no, you got me. I'm frozen up too.
Yeah, that's okay. We don't mind. So yeah, it's been a fun journey. We've got several more projects that we hope to possibly shoot this year, if we can do it with the COVID situation. We're looking at filming with really small crews, keeping the actors and the crew and everybody separate, just by.
Which is kind of how we like to.
Yeah, we kind of work that way anyway. It kind of works in our favor. We like it.
It's kind of like
simple.
being at home. It's kind of how we roll anyway. So.
Yeah.
Well, that gives you, now I got to give you, I got some movement coming back. So I'm going to have to watch my facial expressions because I don't want it to freeze on me going, or something.
Oh no, it froze.
Did it?
No. So yeah, we're excited about this year. It's definitely some crazy, challenging times for so many people. But I think if we can get some people back to work, doing things safely, tell some more stories. I know there's going to be a big gap this year, a big hole of new content for the Hallmark Channel and all the streaming services because nobody's able to shoot or produce anything. And it's going to be even harder on larger productions to get a 200-person crew together. So we'll see what we can do.
Do you have to have that big a crew to shoot a movie? 200 people?
We don't.
No, I mean we don't. A lot of the Hollywood movies are all around 200-person crew, but
our crew on How to Train was about 23, which is very small.
Yeah, but
I did a movie recently that was like 40 people, but you don't really need all those people.
It depends.
Yeah, it depends.
So Sherry just stuck her head in and told me that a lot of people are just coming on, and so we want to make sure to repeat that. This is Isaac Alonji and Sandra Martin, their husband and wife team. They're movie makers that live here in the Kansas City area. And tomorrow night at 8:00 on the Hallmark Channel, one of their movies will be premiering. The movie is titled How to Train Your Puppy, Cross-Out Puppy Husband. And
so smart.
That's good. You should look at some of Mark Gunger's books because he's got, I don't know if you've seen the titles of any of his new books. We worked together with Mark on a TV show, but he's got a book called, like for kids, it's called Treat 'Em Like a Circus Monkey or something. And but that's great.
Isaac talk a little bit about his photography with the movie.
Is Sherry going to be on the stream?
No, she's just bossing me around from over the other side. So
slap some makeup on.
I think she watched the movie.
We'll make it a double date.
Put some makeup on, we'll make it a double date. So now one of the things though on Trust Fund, when you did that, Isaac's he's an interesting guy. He's a world-class photographer, but he's also a helicopter pilot. And so when you did Trust Fund, it was set in, if I remember right, it was set in Chicago and Italy.
Right.
But you filmed it in Kansas City.
That's right.
And
try that on.
No. And is Trust Fund out on any of the media platforms?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Pureflix. It's out quite a few places. If you just search Trust Fund movie, it should pop up. Hopefully not free on YouTube. You're constantly having to fight the people ripping it on YouTube, but
really,
we're still really proud of that movie. It was.
Oh yeah, it was a stunning movie. But so how explain just the technical issues of how you did that. Yeah.
We knew we wanted to set it in Italy. And so we went to Italy, just Isaac and I, in the spring before we started shooting. We shot in Kansas City in the fall. So we went in the spring and that was when drones were just becoming popular. And in Italy, they hadn't seen too many. So when they would see us with a drone, they'd be drone. They were so excited. Whereas now I think you get locked up.
Yeah, you go to prison now.
But the police would even stand by and watch the drone.
Yeah.
And we flew over the Coliseum. We flew every place.
Yeah, we
wanted
flew
to
everywhere, all over
And,
all the cities.
I mean, it was amazing. It was like Isaac was performing because there'd be crowds of people and they would clap when he would land the drone.
It was pretty fun. But we used a lot of those drone shots to kind of set the scene. And not just drone shots, but other shots. We rented a little red Fiat from 1970.
Yeah, we actually had this little, it was a touring company. And the daughter of the guy that owned the company was like 17, 18 years old. So I went to a clothing place over there, Zara, and I bought like a scarf and sunglasses. And I rode with her and I said, would you mind putting these on? Because she was driving the car and she was like, why? You know, and I'm like, well, this is for a movie and I'm going to have the actress when we're in Kansas City wear these same things. So in the movie, she's basically a stunt driver /
yeah doing a car chase, kind of. But then we were able to find a very, very similar, almost exact little red 1970 Fiat here in the States, just in St. Louis. And we picked it up on a trailer, brought it back here and filmed our actors with it, driving around and all the inside and having a fun time. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I thought just the look of that movie was outstanding, and I recognize some of the places because for those of you that haven't been to Kansas City, we have a big shopping district that's kind of Mediterranean styled, and so we have a lot of that architecture throughout the city that I know from watching a movie that you use that kind of stuff. So hey, I'm back. I'm not froze up anymore. So
yeah, the Kansas City downtown area, the plaza, like we're a small town, but we have so many cool places that we can film. We've only done 2 movies here. I guess we've only shot 2 movies here out of the 5 or 6 that we've done together, but
hopefully we'll shoot more this year.
Yeah, hopefully we can stay local and keep it simple and small because Kansas City has a ton to offer. One of the most important things besides the story when you're doing a movie is the locations. So we work pretty hard to find locations that fit the story, that are just visually appealing, and ones that we can actually get in and shoot at. So it's pretty challenging, but we just started last week location scouting for one of the Christmas movies that we want to shoot this summer.
Some good Christmas music.
Yeah,
yeah.
True.
I got new Christmas music last year, so you'll have to check that out, see if that works. So
oh, that's right. Yeah.
It might be a little too ruckus for you.
We like ruckus.
Too much rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll.
No, that's great.
Well, that's really cool. For anybody just tuned in, this is Isaac Alonji and Sandra Martin. Sandra's a writer-director. Isaac, what would your title be?
Cinematographer, maybe?
Cinematographer. I can't believe I said that correctly.
Those are pretty small jobs, though, compared to producing. The hardest part of every movie is producing because you're responsible for everything, and there's just so much work to be done. It's an incredible, you have to create the whole world of your film. So we should probably put producing first. It's all fun, though. It is.
Well, it's great. And just that you've always been very kind to Sherry and I, and you've always helped us and pretty much anything, Isaac's we're getting ready to redo the look of this place. So,
I mean, it's already pretty cool, but I'm excited to see how it comes along.
Okay. We'll get rid of that old picture you took back there.
That's right.
That had to be, I don't know when you took that. We shot that cover, or that album came out in 2010.
Oh my
I was going to say, I think we were upstairs, weren't we?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, you were still upstairs at the studio.
Yeah.
And it was hanging on the wall, and you go like, you're just standing in front of this thing. We got done. It's like, here, take this home. So it's been there ever since.
I love it.
That's for sure. Well, I'm glad you guys came on with me. I just wanted to take this moment and just promote what you're doing. I hope that everybody that's watching will tune in tomorrow night at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on the Hallmark Channel to watch the movie How to Train Your Puppy / Husband.
So smooth. It just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've been practicing all day, making sure that I got it right. I didn't want to embarrass you or something. Sound like some hillbilly.
Well, thanks so much for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys, thanks for being here with us. We love you all. I'll be back Monday night at 6, and we'll continue. Well, before we go, I wanted to ask it because I'm doing a series right now on my book, Don't Take Your Dreams to the Grave. And so would you say that at this season of your life, I mean, so we talked about the process that, Sandra had a bridal business, you had a photography business, and then all of a sudden this transition came. So what brought all that on? Was it necessity? Was it, what was?
I read this book called Don't Take Your Dreams to the Grave. I was like, what am I doing here with my life? I'm not getting any younger.
Now,
And
do you want the long version or the short version, Jenny?
Whichever you want to do.
Short version.
Well, it's a little bit of a long story, but I'll try and make it short. Before Isaac and I were married, I had this, he was doing, portrait photography and wedding photography. He did a few wedding videos. But before we ever got married, I just had this feeling that Isaac was going to make movies. I just felt really that was his calling. And I even to the point where I was afraid I was going to hold him back because I thought he had, a bright future. And we went ahead, we got married. And I guess it was in around 2012, we were doing things with other people. He was working on things that I wasn't like, that's not really what our mission, wouldn't fit into a mission statement.
Right.
Not that there was anything wrong with them, just, big picture. But anyway, we started looking for scripts that we could do together. And we couldn't find anything. So I was like, well,
there's a lot of bad scripts out in the world. It's amazing.
So it was 2013. I was like, well, I want him to be able to do something, to shoot something. So I'll just write it. So, I mean, not that I would suggest that to everyone, but I mean, I started reading, going to like workshops, just any book I could find on script writing. And of course, the first draft or so I would send in to have notes and they'd be like, oh yeah, that's pretty much awful.
Yeah.
But we like the first act, or just enough. They just gave you a little bit of encouragement to keep you going.
Right.
But anyway, that's how it really started. Is I wanted to do something so he would have something that he could shoot.
Isn't that nice?
And I didn't know that I was actually a part of what was going to happen.
Yeah, it is. I mean, last night I shared how that our, the key in everything in life is the decisions that we make. And our decisions lead us to opportunities. And then our opportunities, which don't look like our dreams coming true, but our opportunities, then while we are, pursuing our opportunities, then our dreams come out of that. It might be that we, it doesn't look that way. And, it's like you said, you were doing your wedding thing and he was doing his photography thing. And all of a sudden we don't have an opportunity, but I can write. So let's get busy writing, and just start doing it. You got the stuff and the tools, and what you didn't have, you borrowed or stole, I assume, and went from there. So that's a good thing. So Monday night, I'll be continuing along that line. We're going to go through the book and just kind of talk about that. But one funny story about Isaac, I was a few years back, it was actually quite a while back, I got an invitation to play at a music festival in Comstock, Nebraska. And they waited to book me until I was booked at a church here in Kansas City. And so I called Isaac up and I said, hey, how about you fly me and Sherry out to Comstock, Nebraska, And so he came in his helicopter and landed in the parking lot of the church and picked us up. And we flew to Western Nebraska, and we got there. And it was so funny because I got out of the helicopter with my guitar on my back, and literally, so here's all these big, gigantic tour buses and all this stuff and all these big national acts. I think Michael W. Smith was supposed to play or somebody, and Third Day and all these people. And
Wow.
they're in their buses, and I show up in the helicopter. It was absolutely hilarious.
Who's fancy now, huh?
That's right, man. Sheesh. And literally, I got off the helicopter, walked on stage, and played. But while we were playing, Isaac comes to the side of the stage and he goes, "Hey, the battery's dead on the helicopter, and we need 24 volts to jumpstart the helicopter."
You have an amazing memory. I'm not gonna lie.
And so I made an announcement from the stage. I was like, "Hey, I wish my camera wouldn't froze up. Hey, how'd y'all like my new ride, man? Coming in a helicopter." Everybody's, yeah. And I said, "Yeah, well, the battery's dead, and we need 24 volts to go jumpstart it." And so the volunteer fire department came out with a fire truck and jump-started the helicopter, and they took turns taking pictures with the jumper cable on the helicopter.
Man, those are some good times.
Yeah, man. And so the band went back with Isaac, and Sherry and I drove home. That's the kind of boss I am.
Is that what happened?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you're a good person.
Who was
Yeah.
it?
It was Dimmel and
Remember
Jeremy Warden and Paul Draper.
oh my gosh.
I think it was just Jeremy and Doug Demmel. And so.
You're lucky. It wasn't a great trip home. It was in the dark.
Was it dark?
Yeah,
Was it dark? Was it?
fun. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
That is funny. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being on here. Thank you all for joining us tonight and just sharing with my friends.
Tell them too that Isaac has always been concerned with fulfilling other people's dreams.
Okay. Sherry's coming down and giving me instructions. So I'm glad I'm frozen up so you don't have to see the side of my head. But, one of the characteristics about these two that I love so much is that they've always been involved in fulfilling other people's dreams, and they've never been afraid to use the tools and the gifts that they have to help other people fulfill their dreams and destiny. And that's a key component, and we'll be talking about that later in the series that we're doing. So God bless you all. I'm going to get off here since I'm frozen. You don't want to see me just sitting there. At least, again, I don't have a goofy looking look on my face or something,
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thanks, guys. We love you all.
See ya.
Bye-bye.